Ladies and gentlemen, in this video I'm going to take you through 3 ways you can get better at sales as an online coach. And this is going to help you make more impact and also make more income. And these are some of the things that have completely transformed my finances and my entire career of not just myself, my own team, my future family, and all the clients that I work with 7-figure scaling. So make sure you note these 3 down and take them step by step, because there's going to be homework from this. And before we begin, I drop a video like this every single day, so make sure you hit the subscribe button and drop a comment below with any questions you have. Now to get into it. So if we look at what we're looking to do in terms of trying to improve your sales, what do we need to look at? We need to look at one very simple thing: improving your closing rate. And closing rate is a very simple formula. That is sales skill times conviction will give you a closing rate. So I'm going to repeat that again. Your closing rate is your sales skills, how good you are at selling, your tonality, the language you use, the questions you ask, times your conviction. How much do you believe? How much do you believe in your program? How much do you believe that you can change someone's life? Can they feel your authenticity through the camera, through the call? Can they feel the belief you have? The certainty, because they want to feel the certainty in you. So tip number 1 is this very simple thing: get convicted. You can be shit at sales, but if you have 1,000% conviction in your product and the prospect believes you, they'll buy. And the number 1 reason people don't buy products from people is because they don't trust them. They seem slightly shady, they're not sure, the person selling the thing is not sure, they have commission breath. And this is an important thing to understand, and it's also why I think the world of sales is also changing. We're also no longer almost in a sales game, we're in a branding game. And why are we in a branding game? Because people want to believe in you. And you can help them believe in you by being convicted. And having conviction is a very easy thing to do. And a very good way to do this, and I teach a lot of sales teams, is this: before every sales call, look through different client transformations you have. Look through transformations someone similar you're about to speak to. Remember the conversation you have. For me, there's nothing better than I remember having a conversation, for example, with someone like Troy Sutton, who just moved to Dubai, 20 years old, basically gave me his last 3K or something to join our program, and then a year later is making $40,000 a month. I can remember that like it's yesterday. And that for me is a wild experience. And when I tell that as a story, and I say that with conviction and 100% certainty, people believe me because it's the truth. And this is why you have to use conviction as the most important thing on a call. Tip number 2, I dabbled around there, and that's storytelling. You want to become a master storyteller in 2 different types of stories. Story about yourself, so the prospects can relate to you. So how have you overcome your own problems in terms of what you're trying to sell? So how have you overcome your own weight loss journey? So for example, for me, I used to train every single day, I used to do cardio, I used to eat clean, but I used to eat shit through the weekend. So true story, I would eat 1,500 calories throughout the week, and then Saturday would roll around, I'd get a full Domino's pizza, I would get a Doritos multi-bag with the dip, and I'd also get the Ben & Jerry's ice cream. So that was my own story I would tell on fitness calls, it's actual truth, and that's what I had to overcome to then get in really good shape. So that would be a story I would tell in a sales example of fitness, of how I was eating like that, and then I worked with a coach and actually got a calorie control plan that was actually right for me, which allowed me 1 free meal a week at the weekend, where I could still eat some of what I wanted, but not eat like a complete degenerate and eat 7,000 calories in one go, which is what a lot of people actually do. So what you want to do is you want to story tell about your story. What have you overcome? What did you learn? What mistakes have you made? Because you showing vulnerability is going to get them to buy into you. And the second type of story that you're going to tell is a bit like I did earlier in this video. You want to tell stories about your clients. So to give you an example, a client of ours I remember who signed up, I actually sold him when I was in the phone in Canada driving to central Toronto in the passenger seat. He was £500. And I distinctly remember saying to this guy, his name was Derek, he lived on the west coast of California, I think he lived in LA. And I said to him, how many people who are 60 years old, you see, have £500? Not many, right? Because they die. And that was my point I was making. And I tell that story to people, and how now he's lost 150 pounds and he's in great shape from where he was and much, much healthier. And that's truth. And that's how me being harsh with him and telling the truth has actually allowed him to completely change his life, his habits, and add years to his life. So one of the best things you need to do is to storytell yourself and then also clients. But the secret with storytelling is trying to make it relatable to the person you're speaking to. So it'd be no use me talking about how I got some 21-year-old college kid absolutely shredded out of his mind when I'm speaking to a 48-year-old woman who's menopausal. And thirdly, the big hat is embody your prospect. What the fuck do I mean by that? Put yourself in their shoes. Imagine you're in their position in life. You're a 35-year-old woman who's out of shape, hasn't got a partner, hasn't got any children. What's the big thing she wants? Drum rolls, please. Anyone who can guess that, drop a comment below. And it's not just to get in shape. It's to get in shape, to find a partner, to have a family, to have children. And when you can understand the psychology of where someone is in life and what they really want, it becomes much easier in terms of sales prospecting and closing people, because you're not closing people, you're helping them change their life. And you're tying what they really want to what you do and putting the two together and showing how you can make that happen and give them the one thing they really want. Now, the way you do this is also going to be magnified by a couple of different things. One is going to be tonality, and two is going to be body language. So if you want a statistical truth, one of the things you don't want to be doing is selling on phone calls. I know I mentioned earlier about Derek, who I sold on WhatsApp call. That wasn't ideal, I just had to take it in the car. But the reality is you want to sell on Zoom video call, because they can see your body language, they can see that you're in good shape, they can see you're a professional, they can see as I come towards the camera to make a point. Like, those things make a big difference. And then the other thing you want to look at is your tonality, the way you slow down to emphasize a point, emphatically pause. I'll look up to the sky and like, as if I'm looking for an answer to God, as if I'm thinking, but I already know what I'm going to say anyway, to create some suspense, to try and pull the person in. Because the slower you speak, the more you pause, the more you pull people into you. So if you do that at the right times during conversations, it's going to increase the emotion on the call. And the big thing we have to understand is we want to stop people selling with benefits and features. You want to sell with emotion, because human emotion will override everything. And this is the most important thing you can take from this video, is learn to understand other human beings' emotions, what they emotionally want, sell them that, and it won't be a sale. You'll just change their life, and your program will be part of that. If this video was helpful, drop a comment below with any questions. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and there'll be some other sales training videos on screen right now.